Hey Internet, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to my murder garage. I mean, it looks like a murder garage, but it's not really. It's just because my wife family had like this garage sale and they never picked up their stuff. But yeah, I'm in my garage because number one, I got a pinball machine. It's freaking huge and didn't want to haul it up the flight of stairs into my media room or my game room upstairs or anything like that. So I've got a temporary setup in my garage. First of all, thanks everybody for joining. I've asked a couple of you guys to see if you had any guesses, and I've already seen a lot of interesting responses. So P-Dub said Stranger Things. Rago's Gaming Gadget says Jurassic Park Limited Edition. I wish I was that rich. That would have been a sweet purchase, but good luck finding any of those. Let's see, Wool King says Avengers maybe. Paul said Jurassic Park. Back to the Future, of course. You know, if that was a fun game, I'm sorry, but it's not. The Data East version is just not the funnest game ever. Eventually, I hope, fingers crossed, Stern releases a Back to the Future machine, but that Data East one is just, it's not fun to play. I love Back to the Future, but that one is not fun to play. Let's see. Spencer said Star Wars. TMT from Dr. Ryan Graham, so that's a good guess. Paul also said Deadpool. See, no one parks cars in their garage anymore. I'm the weird guy. I normally do. In fact, I always have to fight with the wife. So like the wife's side of the garage is always cluttered with crap. My side of the garage is where I park my car. Not parking my car because I essentially bought a car and it's inside the garage because I don't know if you know this, but pinball machines are kind of expensive. In fact, just give you a little background before I tell you and show you and all that. The only reason I was even able to purchase this pinball machine because I'm a bit of a comic book nerd, and fortunately I had acquired some graded comics over the years just from collecting. I used to be a certified grader and actually a certified witness for signatures and things. So if you go to a comic convention and you get an autograph from Stanley or something like that, you'd have to have some nerd like me to sit there and watch you get that before it gets graded, before they ever counted it. But anyways, I bought comics over the years, read comics still to this day, and I just on a whim decided to look up some of the comics that were just kind of sitting around in my collection, and lo and behold, I had some that had kind of skyrocketed in value. So I sold 8 comic books and essentially had enough money to buy a brand new pinball machine. So that is how I was able to acquire enough funds. Otherwise, I don't make enough money to spend on a pinball machine without, you know, immediately losing a divorce settlement easily. I don't know what my wife would take in the divorce because there's nothing to take besides video games and toys. But yeah, if I spent our money on a pinball machine that wasn't like, you know, free money, so to speak, I'd have been killed. But regardless, sold my comics, bought a pinball machine, went up to St. Louis and picked it up a couple weeks ago. Absolutely love it. Something me and my wife have thoroughly kind of bonded over recently. She doesn't really care about video games. I love me some video games, you already know that, but she loves pinball. She's gravitated towards pinball. We enjoy playing pinball together. So it's been a nice bonding experience. So she was all supportive. Our top 3 machines that we were in the market for was all 3 of them were Stern machines. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jurassic Park, or Stranger Things. We each had them ranked differently, but that's what we were in the market for. And in fact, the day I purchased this specific machine in front of me, I actually almost bought a second machine just because it was so stupidly cheap on the marketplace. But because it was so stupidly cheap on the marketplace, it sold in a matter of like 30 minutes because a lady put up the Data East WWF Royal Rumble from like somewhere in Kansas for $1,800, and it was immaculate condition. She clearly had it underpriced, and I shot her a message and like, I'll come pick it up tomorrow, knowing full good and well I was supposed to go to St. Louis and pick up this machine. So I knew I was going to get in trouble, but I don't care. It was too good to pass up. But unfortunately, she messaged me back. She says, no, sorry, it's already sold. She's like, I had 12 people message me 20 minutes after I posted it. So missed out on a Royal Rumble, but I did get this machine, and yeah, it's Stranger Things, the Stern pinball machine. If you're not familiar with it, I'll go ahead and give you a tour real quick. Let me switch cameras so I can like manipulate it here. Take this camera off, out of space. So yeah, Stranger Things. Actually, let me see if I can zoom out. Sorry, I'm messing with multiple cameras. There we go. So Stranger Things, you know me, I love me some Stranger Things. I've got my At Games original Legends Ultimate modded and looking like a Stranger Things machine, but this is what we settled on. It was priced right, it was available. Wife wanted Jurassic Park more than anything, and I actually did too, but those things are high demand right now. And yeah, can't find it. Knowing me though, yeah, the DMD is a 15.6 inch screen, and then you got your illuminated back glass. You know me though, I've already started modding this. In fact, I've done numerous mods to it already. Like I said, I had it for 2 weeks, but I installed a UV light kit that is made by Stern. It's kind of, you can see there, kind of lined up beside the ramp there, and there's another one over there, and there's some UV lights inside the tray here. So certain modes of the games lights up. The playfield already has blacklight ink, or excuse me, UV reflective ink inside of it. And the kit also came with replacement plastic that have the blacklight reflective ink in it as well. And then I went ahead and switched out all my rubbers on my flippers, my slings, and over here for some glow in the dark. So when that UV light kicks on, it looks really awesome. But if you're not familiar with the game overall, it was announced right before the pandemic started. I got to play the debut of it at CES back in 2019. It went for sale at the beginning of 2020, and then of course the pandemic happened, and it was just not good for sales after that. But this was designed by Brian Eddy, the same guy who made Attack from Mars, same guy who made Medieval Madness, Funhouse, a bunch of other great games. But aesthetically, the design layout of this field is very, very, very similar to Attack from Mars, which is, again, another one of my favorite pinball tables of all time. Very fun layout, very easy to shoot layout, and this has that very similar shot aesthetic and rule set. And that's why I really enjoy it. So the wife's enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. Will we probably buy another pinball machine? I'm going to say probably yes, just given how much we've already loving this, but I'm gonna have to win the lottery, or get hit by a rich old lady in the shopping mall or something like that. She's gonna have to run over my foot, and I'll have to sue her for millions, because it's about the only way I'm gonna afford another machine. But it is it's immaculate condition. Like I said, can't complain at all. And let me go ahead and get this camera situated back up, and we'll get some gameplay going. So let me switch cameras before I give you guys nausea on the roller coaster. I apologize. There we go. Yeah, so I'll give you a second to admire my snow shovel and random stuff in the background there as I try to get this camera back where it was. So in the chat, has anybody played this table? Show of digital hands. If you have or you haven't, let me know. Oh, that's a little tight. It's a little tight, but I think it's going to work. All right, let's see. So S-Jab says, Brian Eddy, baby, can't go wrong. Gorgeous machine. There was an NBA Fast Break near me for $5,000. I want it. See, that'd be a good deal. NBA Fast Break is a great table to play. It does have a lot of doohickeys and mechanical stuff that you definitely have to keep tabs on, because it's got a lot of moving parts. But it's an awesome machine for sure. So Juicy says hasn't played it. S-Jab has not played it either. Nope. Okay, so not a lot of people have played this machine. So okay, all right, I'll give you guys a rundown and everything of here. Let me switch to just the top-down view. So a little bit sideways, but you get the gist of it. So, main objective. This is what we got going on. So you got your main toy here in the center, just like I said, very akin to Attack from Mars. You got your Demogorgon. So your objective, start the game, see these colored arrows? These are your shots. You're going to want to shoot these 3 times to activate a mode. You don't have to hit them consecutively, so you can stack them. So I can hit this one twice, hit this one once, hit this one twice, come back and hit this a 3rd time, and it'll activate a mode. That's great. The way the Stranger Things gameplay is laid out, you got your Season 1 modes on the left side of the playfield. You got your Season 2 modes on the right side of the playfield. And of course, the Demogorgon's kind of its own thing up the middle. So just like Attack from Mars, it does have drop targets directly in front of it, guarding it. So you have to knock down the drop targets numerous times before it lets you start the Demogorgon mode. And of course, hitting those drop targets is a high risk, high reward type of thing, because you hit it and it immediately wants to come straight back at you, especially if you've got the flippers turned all the way up power-wise like I do. So if you start bashing those drop targets, you got to be very quick with your reaction time and avoid, that center ball drain. But essentially, you're just going to repeat, rinse and repeat, hit your 3 shots, start a mode. Hit your 3 shots, start a mode. So like your first most reputable multi-ball, you're going to hit the target on this side of the ramp and this side of the ramp. Those are your light locks. Once you get that lit and locked started, hit the ramp 3 times, catches the ball up there, starts telekinesis multi-ball. 3-ball multi-ball, very cool stuff. All sorts of goodies. And that is basically that in a nutshell. I can go like super deep and explain that, but that's the high level 20,000 foot view of the game. And I accidentally just moved my screens around, but you get it. So one of the main reasons why it took me so long to actually even start the stream and like show you guys this pinball machine, like I said, I had it for 2 weeks, is I got really annoyed that I was trying to direct capture the DMD screen there, and it's 100% possible, but you have to use a Geekworm board, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but those Geekworm boards are very notorious for not being reliable. So of the 5, almost 6, I think it's 5 Geekworm boards I have in my house, none of them would work. So I would get a signal on my capture card, but it wasn't reliable and it looked like garbage. So that's why I have to do this janky setup where I'm shooting the DMD at an angle, which is not ideal, but eventually I'll find a Geekworm board that works, and then I'll do direct capture later on for playing it. So, let's see, Daniel Cavern, are modern tables easier to maintain? I mean, you're gonna get multiple responses on that. Me personally, I think they are, just because they're a little more refined. But you'll get somebody that says, I bought a brand new whatever and it died on me and then I couldn't fix it. I mean, just think of like buying a pinball machine is like buying a car. You're going to have to do maintenance. You're going to have to, work on it. It's not just going to magically operate 100% for 20 years and you'll never have to do anything. There's, little things you'll have to do. Clean the playfield, wax the playfield, change out your rubbers, things like that intermittently. And there's, just like a car, you get an instruction manual with a pinball machine that'll tell you those intermittent intervals to do the work on. But yeah, time to play. So sorry, I've been talking a lot, but it is sweet. So let me get the volume turned up. Actually, let me start the game. And then, where's my volume? And it should be noted that I also have the sound file on here modded. So I have a custom mod in here to where it plays specific songs that were not in the game that are part of the show. So I'll have to have the volume slightly down just so I don't get nailed with DMCA copyright type stuff, because I got like Devo on here and a bunch of other songs that are part of the show, but wasn't part of the machine, but now it is. That's the beauty of the internet. There's all sorts of great stuff for it. So skill shot, how to do the skill shot. There's 3 skill shots in this game, but the very first one, easiest one, is to hit this roving arrow. So you see it going in front of the drop targets back and forth. You're just going to shoot the ball, plunge, and time it to when your ball comes out and hits that drop target right as that arrow is lit up. You do that, you get 5 million points right out of the gate. You do it each time, you get another 1 million points. So the second ball, 6 million, third ball, 7 million, and so on and so on. That's the first main skill shot. Second skill shot is if I plunge and it goes all the way and misses everything and just comes right over here into the scoop. That is your super skill shot. I think it's 12 million if you hit that. Very hard shot to do. I played with like soft plunge and all that stuff. It's very tricky. And then the hidden super secret skill shot is if you shoot, hit the drop target while it's lit up, and then it magically ricochets into the scoop. I've done that 3 times owning this, all 3 times completely accidental, but you get 35 million points for that. So very cool when it works out, but most of the time it doesn't. John says, I sound like a proud papa. I absolutely am. Like I said, this is a lot of money that I never thought I would spend. I'm a poor kid, and I've always been a poor kid growing up. So to spend this kind of money on something makes me sick. But it was just the fruits of my labors of being a nerd, selling some comic books that were literally just sitting around in my house that I've enjoyed, but you know, other people can enjoy it too. So now I get to do this, have some special bonding time with my wife, and we get to play. So far, I'll tell you, I pretty much got this figured out, the skill shot. As soon as I let it go, when it's hit that second arrow, it's almost guaranteed that I'm gonna get the skill shot. I can almost do it with my eyes closed, but. Jordan says, I would imagine at an home use only brand new table shouldn't get too much wear unless you have a lot of pinball parties. True, yeah. I mean, everybody plays differently, beat their machines up. You won't see me nudging and shaking this machine a whole lot, namely number one, because I've got all sorts of equipment near me and I don't want to like knock it all over. But number two is, you know, that's not my playing style. I don't beat the crap out of the machine, shake it around. How do you wax a table? You take the glass off, you clean everything off, nice, you know, with Swiffer type things, make sure there's no dirt on the play field, and then you literally get a specialized wax and you put it on and just smear it on there nice and tight, just like you would a car. Think of it like a car. Gives it a nice sheen coat, keeps everything shiny, the ball's rolling smooth, things like that. The biggest thing pinball machines break down is just having dirt, grime, and you know, people don't switch out the rubbers and they get cracked and flake and they start to deteriorate and fall apart, and then like the little flakes of the rubbers and things like that will fall into the mechanisms, and that's how things die. But it's going to last a long time. Yes, it will, and it better. So let's go ahead and get started. Sorry, I've talked long enough. And I missed the skill shot. Just like I was talking it up about how easy it is. So my main goal typically when I'm playing this game is I will avoid the Demogorgon, and I actually start to work to activating my mode. So I typically just aim for my out lanes first, my left and right, because that's the easiest shots for me to hit. I'm a novice player, but it seems to be what works best for me. So I work kind of outside inwards, and then once I get like a multi-ball or something started, then I'll start to maybe go towards the Demogorgon. Does the table keep record of its plays? Yes, so I've got high scores on there, as it's showing right now. Those are my highest scores since I've owned it. I reset this completely, and 150 million is like your free game default from the factory. But it'll tell you the amount of times I've played this, hours played, you know, modes, everything. It has a stupid amount of facts and things like that that you can go through the settings and have it tell you. It's obviously set to free play. You can obviously turn it back to take quarters and things like that. But I don't want to charge myself. And I can already tell you this is going to be a throwaway warm-up game. Should have closed my eyes. I absolutely should have. So perfect world scenario. Again, if I was like a oil baron's son, I would have preferred to have the Stranger Things premium version from Stern. It has some really cool upgrades, but Stern stopped making the premium edition very early. So they're still making one last run of the pros all the way up until I think December. It's their last run of the pro machines. But as far as the premiums, they're done making those. And the premium actually has a projector built in, and it will shine. So we got like a stagnant graphic here on the front of the Demogorgon wall there. On the premium though, it's all white and it shows like a projected image. It changes around. Looks really cool. Oh, I should probably tell you. So this is the Where's Barb mode. So it lights all those red arrows. And the way it works is you have a random shot of finding Barb. Barb is hidden behind one of those arrows at random, and you have no idea which one she's at until you hit the shot. If you find her on the first shot, you get 40 million points. If you hit that left scoop like I did, it'll tell you specifically what shot you need to hit to find Barb, but it also like deduces the amount of points you would get. So I just shoot most of the time, anytime that mode's activated, hope for dumb luck and hope for that big point snag. See, Ristelja, not sure if I mentioned this, but what is the highest score I've gotten in this game? So let me hold it down. I want to say it's like 8. Oh, there I had it. 870 million. And I'm so ticked off about that. I was chasing the elusive billion points. I had 790 million on ball 1, and then things just rapidly declined after that. So after a amazing stellar ball 1, ball 2, ball 3 were very short-lived. So haven't hit a billion yet. That's my goal. Hoping to hit it in the next week or so. But oh, absolutely, got a nudge. Like I said, if I'm playing for points and I don't have camera equipment around me, absolutely, I'm going to be shaking this machine and nudging it. But I'm playing very conservative tonight just so I can kind of show this off and not knock equipment over. And this is just a throwaway game anyway. Because 33 is a joke. Even when I'm not really trying, I'm pretty decent about getting at least 200 million a game. My wife's high score so far is like 256, or maybe it's 276. I'll have to look it up. She made me take a picture of her beside the score because she was mad that it was a good score, but it wasn't good enough to get the top 4. So she was a little bummed at that. He's a pinball wizard. So Philly says, I built a V-Pin with all the words. I love it. All the words or all the works? Price? Well, it depends. How much I paid for it or how much this is retails. So Stern is actually raising their retail starting January 1st. All pro models, which is like the entry-level price point, is going to be $62.95, so $6,295. What this retails for as of right now, but they're also very hard to get a purchase order in with Stern, is $5,999. So yeah, $6,000 for the basic beginner model, which, I mean, that just sounds crazy. There we go, there's a skill shot. Shot-wise, skill-wise, so this left ramp, you can actually backhand from this left flipper. Hitting the Demogorgon in the mouth awards you extra points, so you can hit him 3 times, like bash him, and it'll kill the Demogorgon that way. Or if you hit him dead center in his mouth, goes in his mouth and you get like 10, 15, 20 million, depending on what kind of status you are in the game progression. Hardest shot in this game is this right ramp. Doesn't matter left flipper, right flipper, it's just a little bit different angle, so it's hard to hit. 9 times out of 10, I hit it by accident. I'm pretty good about hitting the outer orbit, but I just can't seem to dial in where I need to shoot for that right ramp. So that is the shots. Like I said, progression-wise, I always kind of try to work outwards, inwards. So I'm really trying to aim for my outer orbits first, so I can get those modes started. That was fast. Too fast. Wasn't prepared. Not a bad price, but I have to pay for my Tesla first. Yeah, I mean, you want that self-driving vehicle. It's going to take care of you. Alright, well, another crappy game, so we'll just start the Demogorgon mode. So you see the ramp comes down, ball's going to come out the left. It's got a 50-50 shot if it's going to cradle or not. There we go. Sometimes I get the ball, it'll bounce, bounces too much and forces it over to the right lane. Hitting the Demogorgon in the mouth, I can do it 90% of the time with the left flipper, maybe 10% of the time with the right flipper. So anytime I'm in a Demogorgon mode, I always want to catch and cradle the ball on the left side. And there we go. Got him in the mouth, first shot. So I got 15 million points. If I would have hit him 3 times and not got him in the mouth, I would have got 5 million points, but obviously you want to hit him in the mouth. Get those points. We got 1 ball locked for telekinesis multi-ball. See, Jersey says, I didn't go for the self-driving, screw that, autopilot is enough. Well, there you go. I mean, autopilot's pretty handy as well. Great job on the screen setup. Thank you. It was a pain in the butt. I messed around with having this camera actually on the Demogorgon, but then I was like, well, I don't aim at the Demogorgon enough. And actually, let me see, my camera's a little bit, there we go. So I'll play around with it. This won't be the only time I stream this machine for sure. Like I said, we're really having fun, and I know my wife wants to play some and chat with everybody. All right, so we hit that left ramp one more time. We'll get multi-ball started. Before we start multi-ball, ideally I'd get a mode started, so I'm trying to get that. All right, so this is the upside down mode. This is when the UV kit really gets to shine, literally. The goal for upside down is bash those drop targets and get like a hurry up bonus. But like I said, high risk, high reward. It's gonna time out. Typically the mode only lasts about 10 seconds, but it's awesome when it shines up like that. Like I said, the glow in the dark flippers I got going on, the UV reflective ink, and that just drained while I was talking. Oh well, sorry Barb, gonna have to save you a different time. Why Stranger Things versus the other available pens? So for starters, availability is questionable to say the least. If you're not familiar specifically Stern, they have like a 7-month backlog. People are paying for machines 7 months ago that still haven't got their machines. Godzilla's their newest machine. Some people are just now getting their Godzilla machines, but people that pre-ordered a premium Mandalorian machine back in April still haven't got that machine. So it's like, it's hard to say what is available, because for the most part, if you call any distributor that sells pinball machines and say, hey, what do you got in stock? They'll laugh at you because nobody has anything in stock. In fact, people are selling a lot of these machines over MSRP just because the demand is through the roof. So we were happy if Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Stranger Things, or Jurassic Park kind of fell in our lap. And as it came to be, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Stranger Things both kind of fell into our lap simultaneously. Wife wasn't a big fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and since this was, you know, a big investment and something I wanted her input in, she liked Stranger Things too. I like Stranger Things, so we settled in the middle and said, hey, let's get Stranger Things. So does it mean to say that I won't try to get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or a Jurassic Park some point in my life? But as of right now, we settled on the happy medium, which is Stranger Things. And again, like I said, it's a very awesome setup, very similar to Attack from Mars, plays very similar to it. Obviously everybody loves Attack from Mars, so it seemed like a no-brainer. Maybe my local Toys R Us will have this in stock. I'm gonna go check. Those were the days. Wonder if Stern has an outlet store. Hey, if you find an outlet, let me know. But unfortunately they don't. There we go. Doesn't matter, shoot again. It's gonna come right back, thankfully, because that drained right down the middle. There we go. So started telekinesis multi-ball. Didn't get a mode started like we'd prefer, but now my goal with multi-ball is to hit any of those blue arrows for a jackpot. If I hit 4 of them, I get a super jackpot, and if I hit all of them, I get a double super jackpot. So this is where things get really crazy. You get a 60-second ball save, so don't worry about the ball draining in multi-ball. You got a minute window, so to speak. And downside about this is you end up ricocheting a lot of your shots off of the balls. They just start going all over the place. So my goal when I'm playing a multi-ball mode like this, some people will trap up and try to catch balls on one side and hold them there. I just try to keep them in play as long as possible and make clean shots off the end of the flippers. So we got an extra ball. We got 3 more shots for our jackpots. And we got extra ball lit up again. So I get another extra ball, which would be handy. Ugh. Too much flipping. Okay, and I got a mystery reward, which is another ball. So my 3-ball multi-ball is now a 4, which is good and bad. And it didn't have a chance. So I went from 4 to none. So that was very short-lived, and then it just drained. So not a good multi-ball. See, Jersey says, I bet you have the inside scoop about Dragon's Lair when it's coming out. So the last time I heard about Dragon's Lair is that was publicly being, or not publicly, purposefully being held back so it could coordinate a timed marketing release with something that Netflix has going on in regards to Dragon's Lair. Whether or not that changed, I don't know. In reality, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, hey, Arcade One Up and a lot of these companies can't get stuff overseas in a timely or cost-effective manner, so I think it just got put on the back burner so they could concentrate on what they could sell and get out to the consumers this holiday season. So I think that's why you didn't hear anything or see anything about Dragon's Lair since it was originally announced. Alright. So hit the right orbit one more time, we'll start a mode. And missed it. Missed it again. Catch up. Gaming gadgets, cool, congrats Doug. I would like to get a Jurassic Park limited edition one day, working on building a V-Pin soon. Enjoy it. I will, thank you very much. Yeah, the Jurassic Park machine's awesome. The LE or the premium are very cool because they got the moving dinosaur mechanism that does all sorts of cool stuff. So we got Morse code mode. So the goal here, shoot the yellow shots. Ideally get it back into the pop bumpers and spell the message, friends don't lie ever, I think is what I'm trying to spell. But we gotta hit these shots like we're doing here. Here comes the loud noise. Yep. So the noise scares my wife every single time, but after you get 150 million, that's the default factory free game. So if this was at a bar on a paid setting, I'd get to play again for free for scoring 150 million. So if you're ever playing this in a while, that's your goal. You want to score at least 150 million so you can get your money's worth, so to speak. Oh, don't go out. There we go. Hopefully it comes around. Missed it. All right, so we finished Morse code, got 16 million. This is a Pro, Paul. Pro with the UV kit that I added onto it, so. Would have preferred the premium, but they don't make them anymore and nobody's willing to sell theirs. And if they are selling them, they're selling them for $8,500. Rightfully so. But Pro's plenty good enough for me. Another feature, oh, settle down, ball. I'm trying to cradle here. I can't get it to settle. There we go. Yep, it's going down the mountain. Anyways, another feature that the premium has besides the projector is on the ball lock. So instead of doing the ramp lock where it does on my game, where it shoots a post up and holds the ball for telekinesis multi-ball, it'll actually catch it on the back of the playfield. Unfortunately, you talk to anybody that has a premium, 90% of the people that own the Stranger Things premium machines say their TK ball lock doesn't work, where it magnetizes the ball against the wall. A lot of people in the message boards is, you got to dial it in, you got to tweak all these settings, work on the magnet power, all this stuff. You got to spend like an hour and a half just trying to get it to work. And if you're spending over $8,000 on something, it's not my opinion that you should have to tweak something to get it to work. But that is the common gripe I see anybody talking about ownership of the premium machine. Everybody says the projector is great, but the TK ball lock where it magnetizes the ball against the wall apparently doesn't work that well. Let's see. Spectate says, did you consider buying one of the home pins, Jurassic Park or Star Wars? So I wouldn't consider the Star Wars home pin, not me personally. The Jurassic Park one that just recently got announced like last week, that does seem appealing. It definitely looks like you get more bang for your buck. Specifically, that one definitely looks like it's got more bells and whistles than the Star Wars home pin. And now that Stern has raised their prices on even their Pro model up a couple $100, I mean, it looks more enticing. But yeah, it's still $4,600, and that is kind of the going market for a good used, you know, Williams game that's 20, 30 years old. So it really just boils down to like, do you want a brand new game for $4,600, or do you want to risk, you know, buying a used game from somebody that may or may not have been taken well care of for that price? So it just kind of has to boil down to the individual user's preferences. Boom, missed the skill shot again. All right, so this is the second Demogorgon. You got to kill 2 Demogorgons, and it starts with a 2-ball multi-ball. So it'll shoot one out, and it'll kick my ball back. So it's always a struggle to do this one, because I end up ricocheting the balls off each other. But you also get a 60-second ball save on this, so if you lose your ball, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't automatically kill your mode. And once you kill both Demogorgons, you get to start at like a little mini jackpot mode where it shoots all your light ramp shots light up again. So now you see all my arrows will light up. So now if I hit my arrows, I get a jackpot value. If I knock them all down, the Demogorgon ramp comes down yet again and gives me an opportunity to kill a 3rd Demogorgon for high bonus, you know, lots of millions. So that's your goal. Kill the Demogorgons and then keep the ball in play long enough to hit all 7 red arrow targets, and ideally kill a bonus Demogorgon for loads of points. Most of the time it doesn't work though, as that just double ball drained on me. So this is an average game, I would say, for me. Is there a digital version of this table? No. There is a Stranger Things virtual pinball table, but it is not this specific table. So one specific thing about the newer Stern games that don't use a standard DMD is that they have their own like little computer system, essentially called Spike 2, and it is incredibly hard to emulate. In fact, no one really has done it well. There's people that have like recreated it. There's a really good Batman 66 rendition of a Stern table that's out there on the digital pinball stratosphere. But in terms of all these brand new Stern games, there's no virtual versions that exist, at least ones that are not worth playing. There's a couple that are just like generic tables that somebody plastered on the, you know, the graphic of whatever Stern table. There's no rules, there's no points or whatever. It looks like the table, but it doesn't play like the table. So, let's see. Paul says, I prefer pros, easier to clean, and the premiums don't always warrant the extra $2,000. Yeah, specifically, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles premium, I think the only 2 differences on that one is there's a pizza spinner that's on all 3 models. On the Pro, it spins a certain direction. On the premium, it spins clockwise and counterclockwise. La-di-da. And then I think that has a different little ramp diverter type of thing. And that's, you know, $1,800 difference besides the art package. So to me, that's a no-brainer. I save your money and buy a Pro. But others, like the Jurassic Park Pro has a dinosaur head, but it doesn't move. Jurassic Park Premium, the dinosaur head moves, will eat your ball and throw it around on the playfield, which is freaking awesome. So that's one of those where you're like, oh, I really want a mechanical dinosaur head moving around. I don't want a stagnant dinosaur head. So sometimes it's a no-brainer between pro versus premium. Other times they got you by the balls, and they make you whip out that credit card. Paul says, that's really unfair to the consumer. Someone said Stern raised their prices on people that actually pre-ordered. So they did, but there's a caveat to that. So whoever you pre-ordered your machine through your distributor is supposed to allow you to cancel that, have the option to cancel that pre-order with 100% refund. So they're not supposed to be telling you, hey, we got your money, the price is going up, pay us or else. That's not the case. And if you do have a distributor that says that type of thing to you, call Stern and they will immediately rectify that, because that is not supposed to happen. So it's kind of like a bad scenario type of thing either way. Like the price is going up no matter what, starting January 1st. Anything you order now essentially is already kind of going up because nothing's in stock. So people are already resellers, the distributors are already asking that new 2022 price just because nothing's in stock, and they don't expect it to be in stock until 2022. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that, Paul. There we go. And each time you knock down those drop targets when you're advancing through the Demogorgon modes, you have to knock them down even more times. So you see it says will look out there. You have to hit those drop targets that many times to where you spell all of those letters and turn them red. So essentially you would have to hit 13 times, so 13 drop targets before you start the third Demogorgon mode. And like I said, it's high risk, high reward, because every time you hit those drop targets, it almost always wants to come right back at you. And if I can hit that right ramp one more time, I might actually get close to showing you guys the first mini wizard mode. Here I was not paying attention to what I'm doing, and I might accidentally show you something cool. Assuming I don't lose the ball after I've jinxed myself. Paul says he'd still take a pro. I mean, the Jurassic Park Pro is still fun as heck to play. It's just, once you see and experience that moving dinosaur head on the premium one, it's hard to go back to. All right, so this is the third Demogorgon mode. You have to kill 3 Demogorgons. So the second mode, you got 2 balls to do it, 2 multi-ball. This one, you don't. You got to kill 3 Demogorgons. You get one ball to do it. So you got to make it count. See if I can trap the ball so I can talk a little bit. Nope. And I lost it. That's what I get for talking. What I was going to tell you is there's a button here on the lockdown bar, the action button. This is the Demogorgon bomb, or demo bomb, I think is what it's called. If you hit that, it instantly kills the Demogorgon, but you only get 1 of them per game. So it doesn't matter what mode or what version of the Demogorgon, was first round, second round, third round. Hit it 1 time, it instantly kills 1 Demogorgon. Me personally, I like to try to save it till that third one, so I can kill 1 really quickly and only have to kill 2 after that. But that's the case. As I was talking, ball drained and lost. So, moral of the story, you get another pin before you know it. Oh, 100%. It's just like arcade cabinets. I know darn good well. I literally have my virtual pinball machine sitting right next to it. So I got 2 pinball machines in here. But just like arcades, they look lonely by themselves. They need a partner. They need a compatriot, They need somebody to join in on the fun. It's just a matter of financially affording it, because I'm not going to put it on a credit card. That's not my personality. This is all paid for in cash. I don't owe anybody anything on it. And I'm personally trying to hold out and wait to see if Stern releases not Stranger Things, Back to the Future pinball machine, because that's been a long-standing rumor. Word on the street, the next machine they're going to announce / release is going to be right after Christmas, and it's going to be a Rush pinball machine. That is the heavily implied rumor. And then next step after that, people are under the impression Back to the Future will be coming. So that would be like January-ish, January 1st type of New Year's announcement for Rush, if that happens. And then sometime April, May for Back to the Future, if all those rumors turn out to be true, because that's kind of the normal timetable of Stern announcements. Bank doesn't own my table. Nope, I own it straight up, all paid for, which is a nice feeling. Especially considering I'm supposed to be saving up to go on a vacation with my wife very soon. So if I'd thrown a $6,000 pinball machine on a credit card and then went on vacation, that would not have been good. Here, as you can see how important that skill shot is. Like, I can flip around here for the next like couple of minutes and still not even make up the 5 million that I would have gotten that first skill shot if I would have just paid attention and made my shot. Can I use both screens on the ALP and an HDMI splitter? No. I don't think so. I'm trying to think if that would work, and I really don't see that happening. I've not personally tried it, so take that for what it's worth, but I don't think it's going to work, honestly. We need a tool pinball machine. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Maynard. Maynard Keaton and the Tool guys. Maynard's a jiu-jitsu black belt, and I gotta respect and love and adore him for that. But yeah, I love Tool. That would be great. Rush is a great band. I just don't see that pinball table selling crazy good, especially after Godzilla. Godzilla's like in a fever frenzy right now as far as demand. So releasing Rush right after Godzilla, I think would be kind of like a business mistake for Stern. I think they would be smarter, if they are making a Back to the Future machine, to release Back to the Future after Godzilla. I think that would be a much more, trying to think of what I'm trying to say, but basically a smarter move. You're going to keep the demand and the wants and desires of your products at an all-time high, as opposed to like letting them recede a little bit, which I think is what would happen going from Godzilla to Rush. So if you hit the pop bumpers enough, you see Dart on the screen will evolve and he becomes, larger Demogorgon. He stops being cute and cuddly and becomes a little more monstrous. Eats Dustin's cat in the show. Physics actually work. So Matt B, what's your favorite part of having a physical machine versus the virtual pin? Yeah, the physics are just night and day. I mean, the closest thing to actual real world pinball physics, in my personal opinion, are the Zen Studios pinball machine FX3 games. Those are the closest thing you're going to get to actual real world physics. However, still this far apart between real world physics and digital pinball physics. Digital pinball is great for being able to play multiple games. Love that. It's great for learning rules, so that's one skill set that really translates well. So like I can play Attack from Mars on a virtual pinball machine and then go over to a physical machine. Not necessarily going to play the same. My skill level is definitely not going to be the same. But my understanding and knowledge of how the table plays, how to unlock things, how to start modes, multi-ball, that type of thing, that's tremendous. So learning the rules is the most important part of like tournament play, so to speak, on actual real world physical pinball gaming. So virtual is a great learning tool, but physics wise, yeah, it's just, you can't replicate it. I don't care. See, Paul says they need to spread out their pins. They don't even sell orders on Mandalorian and then offer Godzilla. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people have ordered Mandalorian back in April, still haven't got it. And there's people that just ordered Godzilla that are just now getting it. So, and some of that has to do with component shortages. Stern has been honest in saying, hey, we've tried to get certain things to make all the machines we want to. We can't get all the components. While they are made in America, they still source things like chips from China. So, they're the victim of that. But yeah, Stern's backlog is crazy right now. Every time I look away, I feel like the ball's gonna go straight down the middle. There we go. So Paul says, I remember playing pinball as a kid and never... Sorry. See if I can trap the ball and finish that comment. Nope. Oh well, I lost it. So I remember playing pinball as a kid and never realizing each table had a specific objective. Yes. I mean, that's accurate 100%. So throwaway game, who cares? For the longest time, that was me growing up too. Like, I didn't understand rules, objectives. I didn't understand there was like a story within a pinball table. You know, I just said, hey, you know, you're supposed to just keep the ball in play as long as possible. And that's a okay strategy, but if you're trying to rack up points and progress and learn and unlock modes and things like that, it won't work, plain and simple. Like how I play this table when I'm trying to score points versus how I play it when I'm just goofing around and I'm trying to work on my skills, my flipper shots and things like that, completely different. But yeah, my wife, she tends to start the Demogorgon modes like early and often. I try to avoid them. Like I said, I try to get some modes activated, get a multi-ball started, and then activate Demogorgon just because of the high risk, high reward of the ball kickbacks off those drop targets. But I probably wasn't like 25 until I understood, you know, a little bit more about pinball, about, hey, you do certain things for a reason, a rationale. It's not just, you know, pure chaos for the sake of chaos. There's reason and rationale and story behind a lot of what is built into the playfield. The lights themselves to a bystander are just blinking, flashing lights. They, you know, a moth to the flame type of thing to draw you in, but in reality they tell you specifically what you need to do. So like right now, this blinking light right here is telling me, hey, hit this left orbit 2 more times, activate a mode. Same thing with these. Hey, hit the shot 2 more times, activate a mode. This is the mode you're going to activate. This one right here. This is the mode you're going to activate. This light right here. So when you kind of understand that type of thing and really start playing and looking at a pinball machine and understanding the do's and don'ts and the whys and how and why things operate the way they do, then it really becomes super fun to play. Now, if you're in a bar and you're pumping quarters in it, obviously it's a little more challenging because it may be $5 later before you finally understand, oh, this is why that happened. I was doing this, but that's pinball.
Hey, thanks for calling me first.
And it went out.
Complete the bottom lanes to light mystery.
Yeah, this is the pro, Jim. Just went out there and button mashed. I mean, that's fun too. Like, I don't know if you saw the video on my channel, but me and my wife went and played the new Godzilla pinball machine that just arrived in town at a bar last week. And our first several games is literally, that's what we were doing, was just flipping around, keeping the ball alive, and had a blast. And then after, you know, a couple games, kind of getting a feel for what the ball was doing, how things were operating, then we started reading the rules card. There's a rules card on the table. It'll tell you how to play the game, how to unlock certain modes. So we read the rules card. Then we started, you know, trying to find those shots after reading the rules cards. Okay, we got to hit this many times. And once we got that understanding down, then we started doing that. And then our scores started going up. You know, it's just that's how it works. Practice. But it's fun. I enjoy good games of pinball and bad games of pinball. And by that I mean, I have fun on this machine when I do terrible and score 30 million, and I also have fun on this machine when I'm scoring hundreds and hundreds of millions. Like, this is gonna be a terrible game. Ball 3 because I keep talking and not paying attention. I'll hurry up and kill this Demogorgon. Hopefully make some points up, but I haven't even got an extra ball yet. I'm all ball 3. I'd say this is probably going to be a throwaway game. Ball save, thank goodness. Nope, lost it. Yeah, throwaway game. So in this game, doing certain things, you can light Spell of Protection, which is a left out lane ball save. Right out lane, no ball save. So if it goes out the right, you're SOL. So that's where you got to be good at your nudging. And if you own a Stern machine and you get angry, you can hold the left flipper and the start button to completely restart. So if I've had a crappy ball 1 and I'm like, dang it, I want to start all over. Hold the left flipper, hold the start button, restarts the game, sends you back to ball 1, square 1, all over again. I don't read the instructions on games. Video games, a little bit different than pinball. I literally just play it and try to find out. But it's a little bit different though. Like, you don't really necessarily need to read the rules of Call of Duty to understand how to play Call of Duty. Shoot somebody before they shoot you. Same thing with Zelda. Hey, I understand that I probably need a weapon to hit some of the bad guys that keep attacking me. Go find the weapon. Don't really need to read the instructions on that. I'm very typical male as when I'm building things, like my wife buys a bookshelf. I don't read the instructions unless I get stuck and need to read the instructions to put it together. But for the most part, I'm just a curious, inquisitive mind, so I like to try to figure things out as much as possible on my own. Oh wow, the ball is stuck literally on top of the drop target. Come on. There we go. Uh-oh. Yeah. The game freaked out there for a second. It did not understand why the drop target was stuck like that. Ooh, okay. Didn't want that, but it ricocheted in there anyway. If I can, I want to trap the ball in the left flipper. There we go. So like I said, most of the time I can hit the Demogorgon in the mouth, and this is not a timed mode. I can sit here literally all night and the Demogorgon will just sit there. I can start other modes, which is the great thing about this, and that's why I really like the rule set on here. So even though the Demogorgon mode is started, I can ignore it completely. I can start other modes and then come back and kill the Demogorgon anytime I want to, which is cool. Takes the pressure off. And missed him. Missed him twice. Third time's a charm. If I would have got him the first time, it would have been 15 million. Since I got him in the mouth, I only got 10 because it was the third shot. But I'll take it regardless. Oh, that's where I'd want to nudge the table. Like I said, trying to be nice because I got equipment around, but that's like your next level thing. When you're first learning pinball, general rules of thumb, flip as little as possible. And what I mean by that, if the ball's bouncing around, you don't want to be ricocheting it. You want to try to control the ball as much as possible, meaning get it to an idle state, control it on the flipper, aim your shots. That's your first objective. Second objective, learn the rules, skill shots, that type of thing, because you'll score points. Third objective, learn how to nudge and shake and physically move the machine as safely as possible without tilting it, because it'll save the ball and keep it in play as long as possible. Typically you'll hear pro pinball people say you should never ever lose a ball to the out lanes or anything like that, because that's, in their opinion, something that could be saved with nudging, but isn't always the case. Not another retro channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Tim says, my first mechanical table is going to be either TMT or Guns N' Roses from Jersey Jack. Love good old mechanical pinball. That Guns N' Roses machine is beautiful. Jersey Jack is slightly higher tier than Stern as far as their price points, but they also put a little more bells and whistles in their machine, so it warrants that extra price. And that Guns N' Roses machine is a thing of beauty, especially if you get like the crazy high-end one. They name theirs a little bit differently. I can't remember what it's called. If it's collector's edition or something. But the TMT one's really good. It's just hard. Like, not to say this one isn't hard, but yes, most people that are experienced pinball players, they would definitely say Stranger Things is of the easier variety, just because it is so similar to Attack from Mars. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is designed by John Borg, and he is pretty infamous about designing games where it naturally seems like the ball always wants to go to the left out lanes. So, and that's when I played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stern game, I experienced that significantly. I was like, okay, there's definitely something to this, because the ball kept going out that left out lane, and it's very frustrating. All right, so if I hit the ramp on the left one more time, I get multi-ball started, but I honestly don't want to do that. I need to start a mode before I get multi-ball so I can get points, but it doesn't matter because the ball's going down the middle. Esmond Kim, oh snap, Stranger Things, love this table and it gives me Attack from Mars vibes. Yeah, Brian Eddy, same guy designed both games, very similar layout. Part of the reason why I like this machine so much. Also love the show to death, the music, everything about it, it's great. Played the premium last week, says Tim, blew my mind. Yeah, that projector is something to see. If you've never seen one, when the projector is going on, it's awesome. Are these designers also champion pinball players? Some are, some aren't. So Stern hired Keith Elwin years ago, who's world champion pinball player. He's designed several tables for them now. He's done their Iron Maiden table. He did the Jurassic Park table. He did their newest Godzilla table. Jack Danger streams pinball on Twitch, probably the biggest pinball streamer out there in the world. Works as a contractor for Stern, not directly for Stern, but he just designed their new home pin, which is a Jurassic Park game as well. But Steve Ritchie, Brian Eddy, two very well-renowned pinball designers, not known for their pinball playing skills, but known for their impressive design aesthetics, the layouts, the rules, that type of thing. So sometimes it's champion pinball players making championship caliber pinball tables, sometimes it's not. It's a little bit of a mixed bag, but recently it seems like more and more companies are, recognizing, hey, these guys that are professional pinball players might have some good, perspective on what makes a good pinball machine. So they've started to hire those type of guys. Paul says, any plans for any mods? So yeah, I need to add art blades on it, or excuse me, I want to add art blades. As you can see right now, I've already modded it with the UV kit, and I've already changed out my rubbers. They were stock black rubbers that came on the table. Switch them out for these glow-in-the-dark ones, so when the UV kit lights up, it looks awesome. So here's a quasi-decent scenario as the ball drains. So I've got a multi-ball going and I've got a mode started simultaneously. So for the mode, I need to shoot my ramps, but for the multi-ball, I can shoot basically any shot and get a jackpot. So I can get two birds with one stone if I hit those ramps, which I'm missing entirely. But if you're looking to score points, this is kind of like the strategy you want to have. You just don't want to have my poor execution as I talk about it. Should have saved that one. Almost got it up the ramp with a ricochet. But yeah, other mods, there's a couple little like toys you can add to this game, like a little Dig Dog machine, a spinning Palace Arcade sign. But art blades I want to add to it first and foremost, just because I think it kind of finishes the look of it. I've added a headphone jack to it so I can control the volume without opening the coin door, which is nice. I really want to get my stupid Geek Worm board to work to where I can get the HD capture of my scoreboard without having to put a camera on it, which is what I had to resort to tonight because I couldn't get the HD capture card to work with my LVDS splitter or capture setup. And then we'll see. I think it'd be really cool and nice to powder coat the legs and the armor and things like that. Nice kind of like dark sparkly purple. But I have to also kind of be conscious, like, yeah, I could go spend $300 powder coating the legs and stuff, or I could put that $300 in a savings pile somewhere and put it towards another pinball machine later on down the road. So kind of one of those want versus need adult type of conversations I have to have with myself, and those are never fun.
Mystery.
I need to go to Chicago and do a Stern plant tour. Oh, I'd love to do that. Downside of that is, so Stern does do plant tours, but it's my understanding is they don't ever let anybody record anything, which is understandable. A lot of times they've got, pre-production stuff kind of out there and about, and they don't want that information getting out there. But plus, they also don't want the competitors knowing anything and everything about what they're doing. But yeah, you can go tour Stern, and you can also go tour Jersey Jack, but I don't believe they let anybody record any bit of the tour. So I'd be able to do it, I just wouldn't be able to show you guys. I would just have to like talk about it. It's not near as fun. I knew that was gonna go down. Garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage play. Oh, hang on. Give me a second. I just realized my main camera froze on me. Give me a second. I'll figure out what's going on there. It did this to me earlier, and I think it's just my camera is like overheating because I'm using my DSLR instead of like a little cheap camera or anything like that. See if that reboots it. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. If not, I can just play without my ugly mug, or you can play with my face just looking at the screen like that. What is my graphic card? Oh, on this PC that I'm using here, it's a little bit dated. I'm trying to remember the exact number. It's like an RTX 590, I want to say. I can't remember exactly. I should upgrade it, but I haven't. Man, it is still froze. Maybe I'll just remove that. Sorry for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. But that's what happens when you got 4 inputs going simultaneously. Let's see. Trying to do this on the fly with a wireless mouse, and that's never fun. Do. Wow. It doesn't want to work. Yeah, it's definitely frozen. Camera's too good. Yeah, it could be that. I mean, it's definitely not designed to be a webcam, and it shouldn't be used as a webcam, but I mean, I had it plugged into external power. I thought we were going to be safe. But sometimes the way you want things to work and how they actually work don't necessarily align. Yeah, because it still, I keep refreshing it and unplugging it and plugging it back in. You know, your standard, this is how you fix problems, IT support type of thing. And it's not working. It just keeps freezing. Even though I can see on my camera display that it's working, it just seems to be frozen. All right. Well, that's awkward. I can't have that personal connection with you guys, that one-on-one experience, which is what I wanted to do. Well, all right, well, I will just remove it entirely. So, apologies for the technical difficulties. Okay, well, yeah, play on, they say, don't worry. Okay, good, because that's what's happening. Make sure the other cameras are still working. Okay, that's good. Sometimes it's just the computer that's the issue, but I think that one is 100% the issue of whatever. So how hard was it to set up? How heavy is it? So how heavy it is, I want to say it's like 225 pounds, and I think that's about right. It's not actually hard to set up. There's like a method to the madness, so to speak, of how to do it. You just want to attach the legs in a certain order, and it can be done by one person, so you don't need like to call a buddy to help you do it. You can move it if you've got a little hand truck, hand dolly type of thing, so you can move it by yourself. But once it's all like put together, moving it, unless you have some sort of like jack to get under the pinball machine and raise it to get the legs off the ground, that's going to be a tall ask. But the back box folds down, so it makes it easier to transport. I was able to get this in the back of my wife's Nissan Xterra. I drive like a little crossover SUV, and it was too tall to get in the SUV. My SUV anyway. My wife's, different story. All right, so if I hit that shot, that red blinking arrow, I'll get a bunch of points. There we go, and that Demogorgon will come down again. And if I kill him, I get even more points. And I just lost my ball, so it's gonna lose the Demogorgon. Dang it. Right as I was calling it out. Never fails. Yeah, don't let go of the dolly. Yeah, it's true. You do know what I look like. I mean, it's not something that I've ever been super caring about on my channel. I don't care about marketing and putting my face out there and all that stuff. I'm just like, hey, I make content. If you like it, great. If you don't, oh well. I've never been a self-absorbed personality that needs to make everything about me. That's why you don't see me live streaming every day like a lot of these other people. Like, I live stream when I want to, when I got time. I'd love to do it more, but there's a lot of people out there that just live stream every single day just because they feel like the internet is desperate to hear them talk, and I think that's probably not accurate. Get the skill shot. There we go. There. So this is typically how I like to start all my games. Get the skill shot, hit the outer ramps. Might as well get the Demogorgon out of the way since we're doing okay. Arcades are tougher to move around. I mean, it depends on, they are heavier for the most part. I'll give you that. But, I mean, the same kind of rule of thumb applies to arcades. If you can get a dolly under them, a lot of times you can get it moved. It's just like, without a dolly, it's pretty much impossible. And depending on the game, some of them are, you know, even crazy heavy, more so than standard. Dang it. So like, I have my full-size Street Fighter 2 machine upstairs, and that took me and two other buddies, and it was, you know, a hell of a chore trying to get that up a flight of stairs. So whenever I decided to move, whoever's buying my house, they're probably getting a Street Fighter 2 arcade machine, because I don't think I'll ever get it down the stairs and out of my house. That is just too much of an ask. Oh, okay, that was a double whammy. It ricocheted off the drop target and then went in the in lane and automatically started a mode. So here I just gotta hit the inner shots as well as the center shot. To hit the center shot, you gotta hit the drop targets. So everything about this is gonna be slightly risky. I got a nice little ricochet in there. Oh, thank God for the ball save, because that was a ruthless outlane drain.
Hit the targets for a Demogorgon attack.
There's another ruthless outlane drain. My God. That's what movers are for. That's true. I don't know if you guys have ever hired or had personal experience with movers, but most of the time I've seen movers in action. There's typically only 2 of them. They don't want to be there. They don't care about your stuff. And they're typically underpaid for the amount of work they're being asked to do. So if you want to, let those movers that are not happy to be doing what they're doing, underpaid and underappreciated, move your several $1,000 machines, you go for it. You're much more of a gambler than I. Charlie, this is the Pro model. Pro model that I modded with the UV light kit and changed out the rubbers with some glow-in-the-dark rubbers, but the Premium has a projector on it, which is the easiest way to tell them apart, and it also has a couple other features on it. Oh, this is one of the, just let that drain, it's fine. Operation Mirkwood is like one of the toughest modes for me because it involves hitting that left ramp and right ramp over and over again. Like I said, I can generally hit the left ramp pretty decently, but that right ramp I'm just terrible at as I hit it on accident. Got extra ball. Yes, the DMD does play. That's what you're seeing on here is clips from the show. They're typically pretty short, but the activated mode shows clips from the show. Basically do anything in the game, it'll do something. Little slap save. See if I can get another extra ball lit. Well, actually it is lit, I just need to get the shot. And that was my fault. Is it possible to mod pros to premium? Some cases you can get close, but in totality, no. So like, I can't just buy the Stranger Things projector that is on the Premium and put it in this machine, because even if I did that, the code, the game itself wouldn't know that there's a projector involved because it's a specific chip that goes in the Premium, that goes in the Pro, and they're all coded differently. So my Pro machine wouldn't know how to tell that Premium projector to show and shine and do the things. Jurassic Park, for example, like I said, the Pro model, the T-Rex moves up and down, grabs the ball type of thing. There's somebody out there that made a kit that makes your Pro model T-Rex move and do stuff, but it won't do the exact same stuff as the Premium. It'll just kind of like look the look, but it won't walk the walk, so to speak. Fight Cave, I heard from a distributor that those lamps on projectors have lasted a pretty long time, which is good because I don't know where you could possibly buy a replacement for that. So if your Stranger Things projector lamp dies on you, I think you're SOL. Unless Stern literally has boxes of those bulbs sitting around, because that's a very specific projector that's not going to be used on a lot of commercial devices or anything like that. So you'd be pretty much stuck with getting it through them. Lamps can be costly for sure. Hey Dylan, welcome to the stream. Yes, Stranger Things. And I lost that one. Trying to do some fancy flipper work and it cost me. There we go. So we got both Demogorgons killed now. Now we need to hit our lit arrows as it just, oh my gosh. So one thing I've learned tonight is I cannot talk and play pinball simultaneously. And even though my camera on my face is died, I keep looking up at the camera so I can talk to you guys one-on-one. Yeah, Paul, you are correct. There is not a lot of aftermarket parts out there. There's a few companies like Marco Pinball and the Pinball guys that offer aftermarket OEM Stern parts and pieces and things like that, but for the most part they are pricey. Like if you want to get a replacement assembly for the Demogorgon here on the Stranger Things machine, even if you just want the Pro version, It's like $1,800 to buy it from somebody that's not Stern, and I don't even think Stern sells it independently. So if for whatever reason my Demogorgon broke and stopped operating and the ramp and all that stuff, just everything about it died, I'd have to spend $1,800 to repair it, which is nuts. Fortunately, haven't heard anybody having that issue. I have the high score, Dylan. I'm sitting around like 870 million is my high score this far. Hers is like 276 million. And I will say I've for sure played this machine easily 3 times as much as she has, but she's good at it. She plays it differently than I do, which is, it's unique to see. But she enjoys it. She also enjoys cursing at it when, you know, things don't go her way. So far tonight I've been doing pretty abysmal. I've hit my, what I would call average score a couple of times, which is like 200 million. If I stop talking and concentrate, I can pretty much guarantee I could put up 400 million. But as of right now, 200 million while talking is going to be probably as good as you're going to see from me tonight. Although I do have a decent chance to score here. Hopefully I don't mess it up, because I got add-a-ball going, multi-ball going. I just need to make some shots. And it's hard to make the shots when they keep ricocheting off each other. Oh, lost one. Gonna lose another one. Thank God for 60-second ball save. The light show on this game is pretty awesome too, but especially when you get the UV kit installed. Alright, so I got my shots on the left side I need to hit, and I keep ricocheting. Alright. So left ramp is my only shot left, I think. Nope. It was, and then I hit a jackpot. Whew. That was a lot. A lot of action. Let's see if I can settle it down there. Alright. Raptor Pit too, yeah, it's another, the locking Raptor Pit mechanism on Jurassic Park is another premium feature. Better treat her gently, Doug. I don't know if you're talking about my wife or the pinball machine, but the answer will be yes to both. For sure. If I want to have a longer lifespan, it would definitely be in my best interest to treat both the pinball machine and my wife gently. Oh, one more shot and I'll get a 5-way combo. And I missed it, of course. So I get the ball settled down. So right here is like your map of progression. If you want to quote unquote beat the game, you need to do a telekinesis multi-ball. You need to have a 5-way combo, so that's what I was going for there. Came up short with 4. You need to light send it back and complete that mode. You need to complete the light the fire mode, kill all the Demogorgons, kill the Demodogs, and that will light Final Showdown. That is the final wizard mode. There are 2 mini wizard modes, which are called Total Isolation. To do Total Isolation, I have to activate 4 modes, play 4 modes. You don't necessarily have to beat or complete the 4 modes, but activate 4 modes. And then once you've done the 4 modes, there'll be a yellow light right here on the left ramp that lights up. You shoot that, it starts a 3-ball Total Isolation multi-ball, which is pretty much identical to Telekinesis multi-ball, just the points are differently. Grant says, I love this game, don't know how to play it yet, but really enjoyed playing it. I mean, it's super fun. Like I said, it plays very similar to Attack from Mars. The high-level overview of how to play it is basically pick a shot, shoot it 3 times, start a mode. Pick another shot, shoot it 3 times, start a mode. You don't have to hit them consecutively. So I can hit that shot once, that shot twice, come back and hit this again, and it'll do it. And it'll start the mode. But you just basically want to hit your shots at least 3 times, start a mode. Demogorgon mode that's just started right here is my least favorite mode in the entire game. So what I have to do is I have 60 seconds. I have to hit the Demogorgon spelling targets. So we get D, E, M, O are behind the drop targets. You get D, O, G here. So every time you hit that, I get 1,000,000 points. The downside about this mode, and the reason why I don't like it, is while it is going, I can no longer progress any other mode. So if I shot this ramp here, or shot this ramp, or shot any of my loop shots or orbits or anything like that, it wouldn't count towards activating my mode. Nothing will happen until I get out of this Demogorgon mode. So for 60 seconds, I'm basically stuck here. So I can just flip around, try to hit the demo targets and get 1,000,000 points. I can let it time out. But if you're trying to progress through the game, this is the mode that sucks the most, just because it really puts you dead in your tracks, stops you, preventing you from progressing whatsoever. So like right here, that would have activated a mode earlier, but now it won't, because I still got 8 seconds on this mode, 4 seconds. All right, so we got upside down. So instead of hitting the drop target now, since this is the second upside down, I've got to hit the lit arrow shots. And you'll see my score will slowly tick down until I hit the shot. And that one didn't go all the way around, so it didn't count. But basically the upside down mode, when it activates the UV light kit, these are your hurry up modes. And I missed them all, which is fine. Oh, what mama says. So hit all the yellow targets and you get progressive jackpots on this one. So we've got 2 targets hit so far. 3 targets. See if we get the extra ball. Nope, missed it. Missed the extra ball again. I really want that extra ball. Oh. Can't hit a shot to save my life right now. This mode will give you anxiety because of the music. Like, I'll just stop talking so you can hear it. It's very high frenzy music. Makes you feel crazy while it's playing. And the imagery on the screen, of course, doesn't help. So this is the 3rd Demogorgon mode. I'm going to kill one with my button on the lockdown bar. So I killed one of them. And now I'm still in the what mama says mode, so I can shoot my my yellow arrows, or I can try to kill the Demogorgon. It doesn't really matter. And a ball drained. Crap. I should have just kept trying to finish the mode. Alright, so 80,000,000 bonus. So that's another reason you don't want to tilt the game, because this game in particular, you could score a crap ton of points with your bonuses. Like, I've had bonuses as high as 180 million before. So 180 million on top of your normal score. If you tilt the machine, your bonus goes out the window, so you definitely don't want to do that. Ah, Michael, what did you think it was going to be? What was your guess? I know you thought you told me you thought you knew what it was. What was your guess going to be? Oh, wow, that was terrible. Went right down the middle. Didn't have a shot. Get the extra ball. Oh my goodness. Ball save, thank you. Missed the extra ball again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was destined to not happen. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was a good guess, Michael. In fact, it was literally up in the air between those two machines, but at the end of the day, just thought this would be a better one because my wife has no personal connection to Ninja Turtles. It would be me being greedy if I got a Ninja Turtles machine because, like I said, I like Ninja Turtles. She doesn't care about Ninja Turtles. I let her test it out and play it and everything, but she still preferred Stranger Things. She wanted Jurassic Park more than anything. We couldn't find a Jurassic Park anywhere for sale, so we just made the decision to go ahead and get what we could get, which was the Stranger Things, and meet in the middle, so to speak. Try one more time to make sure my other camera doesn't want to magically work all of a sudden. Nope, still frozen. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why that would do that. Oh well. Alright, let's see. Turtles is effing tough, says Fight Cave. And yes, I 100% will agree, Turtles is tough. Wife is a huge Jurassic Park fan too. I love Jurassic Park. The table is, again, designed by Keith Elwin. It plays exceptionally well. Pro, Prima, doesn't really matter. Plays great. It was the 2019 Game of the Year. It's highly sought after, in demand. The premium version specifically is what everybody wants, and it's selling for typically like $1,200 more than MSRP just because it's in demand. Like there's people selling the machine for more than they paid for it, 9 months ago, and it's probably been played 600 times, and people are still paying $1,000 over MSRP for it just because it's that in demand. So yeah, Jurassic Park would definitely be a great one to have if you can find one for a reasonable price. That's the hardest thing, is just finding one for retail if you're trying to buy a new in-box one. Godzilla is fun. Like, I don't personally have any kind of like connection towards Godzilla as a franchise, but the table itself shoots like a dream. There's so much going on in that game. I haven't got to experience the premium version, which has some awesome bells and whistles in it, but the Pro just had me impressed.
Stop doing that.
Well, that's what happens if you shake the machine a little too hard. I do have the tilt bob in this set very tight, just because I'm trying to like train myself to not slap the machine around too crazy much. Thank you. Hey, Manu, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I know I told you this was, in my top 3, but it ended up working out. Kind of fell in my lap, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity to buy it. And me and my wife are loving it so far.
Extra ball is lit.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it already. I mean, just learning it and getting the hang of it. It's been fun. And I think it was probably the better choice for my wife to, her first pinball machine, because it's easier to play, easier to understand, it's less complicated. Like I said, it's a very straightforward layout. She's familiar with Attack from Mars, she's played it, and that's what happens when I'm looking away from the camera. So I knew this kind of layout with the toys in the middle would be good for her. Grant says, do I see myself getting any more pinball tables? Yes. Do I see myself getting the money to afford any more pinball tables anytime soon? No. Unless any of you are a rich uncle out there that I'm not familiar with that all of a sudden wants to donate to your favorite nephew COOLTOY fund. Ah, missed it. Missed it again. Oh well, should have slapped it. Jurassic Park is very intimidating for a first pinball machine. Indeed, this is very inviting. I 100% agree. Like I said, we wanted Jurassic Park. Just couldn't find one for sale near us or affordable is one of the two. Is either far, far away or not affordable, in our opinion. This was more approachable. So I drove up to St. Louis on a Saturday to pick it up. So it didn't have to go too crazy far. It was, 3.5 hour drive for me, but it's not like I had to go across the country. And who knows, maybe I just might settle for that home Jack Danger home pin Jurassic Park machine. Probably not, but it does look nice. I mean, I'd have to play one to obviously make that call. Yeah, as long as you're a fan of the theme and the tables, you really can't go wrong. So, absolutely agree. In fact, I'll show you something real quick. If people are not familiar with my affinity towards Stranger Things, it's like, you can see right here, here's my Legends Ultimate cabinet that I customized and has all Stranger Things outfitted. So yeah, I'm a fan of Stranger Things, there's no doubt. In fact, that was kind of the reason I was trying to talk myself out of buying this, or maybe leaning more towards Turtles, was I was like, well, I've already got a Stranger Things arcade cabinet. I'd feel kind of dopey having both, but now I don't feel dopey. It's a fun table. I was overthinking my thoughts on that or whatever. I did, yeah, the home pin that Danger designed. $4,600 is $4,600. That's all I can say about that. With the new Stern price increases, that $4,600 looks a little more reasonable, especially with all the stuff that Jack got on that playfield, and it looks like it shoots fun.
Extra ball is lit.
But to me, I think if I was gonna spend thousands of dollars, I would either buy a nice older used machine that I really enjoy for $4,600, or just save up for a pro version of something else. That's just my personal thought on it. Ball save, coming back. Extra ball. Looked very difficult. I will 100% agree. It looked fast as hell, which is good and bad. It just really kind of depends on your playing style and what you like. This game is pretty quick just because those drop targets. If you avoid the drop targets, not so much. But difficulty is always kind of a hard thing to judge, because obviously the skill set between Jack Danger and myself is a vast void. So how he would play and perform on a pinball table versus how I would casually walk up to a pinball table is completely different. Manu says, to be honest, we got full Elvis pinball machine recently for $4,200. So yeah, there you go. I mean, there's some good priced options out there on the market for used, even with the pinball market being crazy. An influx of inflation, I guess you could call it, even though the used market technically isn't inflation. It's just supply and demand. But yeah, it just really kind of boils down to personal preferences, what people want. If they need that new inbox experience, if they're okay buying used, working on a machine, and it just comes down to availability. Like I said, at the very beginning of the stream, I mentioned I inadvertently almost bought 2 pinball machines on the same day, just because something popped up that was so well priced that it was kind of a hard thing to say no to. Luckily, the lady took it out of my hands and sold it to somebody else before I had the chance, so it was taken out of my hands for good reason. But sometimes things just pop up in your lap and they're just a crazy good deal. Other times, not so much. You just got to keep your eyes and ears open. Tim says, of course, that Godzilla table is amazing, and I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, so, I mean, you're like me. Table plays amazing. I don't necessarily care about Godzilla. Just doesn't really do it for me as a franchise, but it looks great. It played great. I had a hell of a time playing it. like the crisscross wire forms that go across and like spiral around. They're so satisfying when you shoot them. It's got an upper orbit that you can hit with the upper flipper. You hit that, you can hit it in succession, kind of get like a rhythm going. So satisfactory when you get that going. I really wish I knew what the hell happened with my capture card from my face camera. It was like really bugging me to have that dead space on the layout here where my camera was supposed to be. It was earlier before it froze. Well, that was garbage.
The bottom lays the light mystery.
That's why you don't shoot the drop targets. Yeah, just wait until you play the premium. Absolutely. I'll have to do some internet sleuthing to find out if anybody near me will get a premium. I follow one of the local operators on Instagram, and that's the only way I found out that he got a Godzilla in my hometown. So I was kind of shocked to see that because I didn't think we were going to get one. And I didn't think he was going to get one so quickly. So he purchased the Pro and got it pretty early on. So that was a pretty nice little surprise for me to get to see it, because if you're not familiar, I live in Missouri, which is the middle of the country, which is not a hotbed or mecca for anything or technology, pinball. I mean, Chicago, definitely pinball area, but here in Missouri, like even finding used pinball machines like on the marketplace, they don't exist. Like almost everything is listed in either St. Louis or Tulsa, Oklahoma. If I type in a Facebook Marketplace pinball search, there's like nothing in Columbia or my town, Springfield, or anything like that as far as listings. And if there is something listed, it's typically like, hey, here's a machine that's 30 years old that doesn't work and I want $7,000 for it. I'm like, that's not accurate, sir. Get up the ramp, there we go. Extra ball. Remember, you can sell the same pin for as much as you paid for it, if not a little more. I mean, sometimes you can, especially in today's market. I always laugh anytime I get on Pinside and see the prices people are asking for that top tier Guns N' Roses or the Beatles machine. Like, there was a small window in time where you could sell those things for stupid prices. That window has since closed, but there's a lot of people still sitting on those machines that don't believe that. And God dang it. Stupid right lane. But yeah, great way to try before I buy. That is 100% true. Because if you're going to spend thousands of dollars on something, you absolutely need to play it before you pay for it. I mean, it's just nuts. I see it all the time, and the message boards, people talking about buying machines that they've never played or seen or experienced, you know, sight unseen type of thing. Like, I applaud you for, you know, your fandom and being able to take that kind of risk. But I would never do that. I don't know if that's just like the poor kid in me, but I would never spend thousands and thousands of dollars on something without playing it first. It's like buying a car. Like, would you buy a car without ever test driving it? Most people would probably say no to that. I mean, you're going to want to test drive it for the same reason. You're going to want to play the game and see if you like it, because it's an investment. And chances are you're going to keep it for a long time, unless you're just, you know, looking to constantly rotate your games out, which is fine. But yes, this is a Stern JLS. This is the Stern Stranger Things machine. This is the Pro model, aka the basic bare bones. I say bare bones, but it's got tons of bells and whistles, and I have lots of fun with it. But this is the entry model, so to speak. Oh, settle down, ball. Wild geese. Adam's Family sold for $15,600 on eBay last week. Yeah, Adam's Family is a high demand game, and depending on condition, and depending on which, like if it's the collector's edition version of Adam's Family or not, I mean, they can go for a pretty penny. 15,000 is probably a little much for Adam's Family if you're asking me. 10,000, 12,000, much more acceptable, but I don't know, that could have been like the most immaculate condition ever. It just kind of boils down to people and their preferences. Like Adam's Family, if I remember correctly, statistically is the most sold pinball machine of all time, meaning there's more Adam's Family machines out there than anything, but it's also crazy high demands. Everybody wants an Adam's Family game, so even though there's a lot of them, they still have a premium price in the market.
I told you everything.
Get the ball stuck up there? Oh, it's just sitting in the bumper. There it goes. It was resting ever so gently. All right, I don't really want to start the Demogorgon. I want to get my modes started. If I shoot the in lane, I get mystery to light.
Extra ball is lit.
Give me a mystery reward.
Mystery award.
17 is the greatest reward on here. So 17 is the secret like BS mode. And when that mode starts, it basically just says the word bullshit over and over and over and over and over again, which is absolutely hilarious. But it very seldom pops up when I get my mystery rewards. Trap this again. So GLS, your live stream sold me on unloading my Arcade 1-Up virtual pin and going at Games Pin with Emporium. I just finished setting it up last night. Stranger Things is insane. Now the ante is upped again. Yes, the Stranger Things V-Pin game is amazing. Definitely, it's one of the better virtual pinball games out there for sure. I think you're going to be happy with that choice. Uh-oh. Start the Demogorgon mode. It's the 2-ball multi-ball version. So that I can push my button and kill one of them instantly, or I can just try to shoot for the mouth. Oh, that was close. I don't know if you can see it with the camera angle, but I got it in his mouth and it didn't go all the way in. It just like sat there on his lip. There we go. Now I gotta hit my targets, get my jackpot bonuses, and ideally get my middle in lane for my extra ball. And I still got my compass mode lit. So I got a mode and a multi-ball and lots of stuff going on now. Cannot hit my ramps. Oh, I lost them both? Seriously? Hopefully they're coming back. Okay, good. Good old 60-second ball save, even though I just lost it again. I am just bricking a storm. All right, left out lane, that's the goal. Can't believe I missed all my shots on that multi-ball. Settle. Or go out the out lane, whatever. You do whatever you want to do, ball.
Time is up.
Paul, is this show ever going to have a new season? So yes, they just put out the new season 4 teaser. It was a week and a half ago. It's supposed to, at the beginning of 2022 is when season 4 is supposed to come out. The kids I know for sure have grown tremendously. I just saw the kid that plays Dustin at Comic-Con here in Kansas City a couple months ago, and he's grown significantly. And I know, I forget the kid's name. I think it's Caleb McLaughlin. he's grown significantly. He's like 1.5 feet taller than he was in the last season, and his voice has changed obviously. So yeah, the little kids that we know and love and grew up with in season 1 have definitely changed dramatically. But yeah, it's been forever. My biggest thing is they haven't released season 3 on like any sort of like Blu-ray or anything. Sure, I can watch it on Netflix anytime I want, but like I like physical media, and I've got season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Season 3, it's been out for 2 years now. They never released a Blu-ray of it. It's crazy. So, all right, we'll play the one last game and then we'll call it a wrap tonight. Like I said, I can't figure out what's going on with my face camera, so I apologize. We got that dead space in the left, but it is what it is. So we'll see if I can put a quasi-decent game together. If not, oh well. We'll play it again another night. Practice up on this. We might throw you in a Stranger Things duel against Don't Panic Flip. Hey, I watched your last, the last one with Don't Panic when, who else was in there? Was it? I'm trying to remember who the 2 competing parties, but I watched the Stranger Things one. That was a good one. I definitely need to practice up. So far, my high score is like 870 million, but casually playing, I'm like the 200 to 400 range when I'm not talking and trying to stream simultaneously. What kind of maintenance is required for a sweet rig like this? Depends on how many plays you got, but basically basic maintenance. Keep the playfield clean, keep everything free of dirt and debris. Change your rubbers. I think it's like 500 plays is what they recommend, so change those out. But just basically keep them clean. Check for cracks and wear and tear on that. Make sure your plastics on ramps and things like that are not cracking, breaking. Just normal stuff. Nothing too crazy. Something breaks down, likely it's going to be like an opto sensor or like maybe a solenoid that dies. Things that can be bought cheaply, swapped out, and then easily replaced if you know how to solder. So nothing too crazy as far as basic bare bones maintenance. Every content creator needs face cam when streaming games, like maintaining. Yeah, I agree. They do need to have their face out there. I think it's kind of weird when people don't. I mean, not necessarily like the narcissistic thing, like, hey, look at me, but it's just like, hey, if you're gonna expect people to listen to you or take advice from you or anything like that, the least you could do is look them in the eye, so to speak. Maybe that's just the way I was raised, that old school mentality. But for whatever reason, it froze, so unless you want to see my frozen face image again where it was just me open mouth. Because I've restarted it several times and that camera just did not want to come back on. I thought maybe it was just because it's overheated or something, but turned it off for a while, turned it back on, didn't get any heat warnings. Who knows? Am I going to do a video showing the internals? I mean, I could. I don't know. It's always hard to gauge with YouTube, like what I can do and don't do, because I don't know. YouTube's such a weird thing. Like, you can make a video that tells people the cure for cancer, and if the algorithm for whatever reason doesn't like it, it won't show it to anybody. It doesn't matter if you're subscribed to the channel or not. So sometimes it's just a double-edged sword with YouTube. So I always have to like kind of be choosy with what content I make, and that's another thing. Like, I'm extra choosy with what I make on YouTube. Like, I can make an arcade 1-up video every single day or an At Games video every single day and get lots more views and attention for my channel, but I think that's kind of pandering, and I think it's insulting to the audience to, make just blasé content for the sake of making content. Like, if it doesn't help you and it only helps me, it's not worth doing, in my opinion. Like, I try to do things that are somehow educational, informational, or helpful to people. It sucks those opto sensors fail so much. I mean, they are optos, but yeah, that is number one thing to die on the Stern machines are the opto sensors. So this is not going to be a good game. Sitting at 37 million. Definitely not where I want to be on ball 2. Missed it. Missed it again. Well, we got multi-ball started. Didn't necessarily want to make multi-ball start. I was actually trying to shoot for the out lane so I could get a mode started, but oh well. Life gives you lemons, you ask it why he didn't give you apple juice instead. Oh, well, I got all the balls stuck in the ramp now. So it should give me one of them in the left out lane, and then I got 2 stuck up in the ramp, locked. I only got the... Oh, now they're all 3 up there. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Yep, that's what I was afraid was going to happen. That's what I was afraid was going to happen. They looked all pretty coming down and cascading down the ramp simultaneously, but as far as controlling it, wasn't going to happen. Well, we made up some ground at least with points, but still not where I want to be. Come on, jackpots. There we go. Finally got that orbit. Right ramp is going to be the death of me. Had this game 2 weeks, played it every day, and I still can't find that right ramp to save my life. Alright, just the scoop next. Oh no! Alright, well, spell protection. Alright, double super jackpot. There we go. Oh! Well, it was doing good. Good-ish. Call it what it is. Good-ish. That was a decent multi-ball.
Replay.
All 3 drained at once. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It just sometimes the machine wants to be nice, sometimes it doesn't. There's literally times where I'll walk up to this machine and it just kicks me in the teeth and I'll get like 50 million. And there's other times so I'll sit here and I'll play for half an hour and I'll get, 700 million. So. And sometimes those games are back to back. It seems like there's no rhyme or reason sometimes. If the game wants to be mean to you, it'll be mean to you. Like right now, it doesn't want to settle on that left flipper. A lot of times it'll come down that ramp and I can catch the ball, and it'll bounce and then stop on my left flipper and I can catch and settle. But the way it's been playing a lot tonight is it's bouncing one too many times and forcing it over to the right flipper, which is changing how I have to attack the game, so to speak, with my progression. Okay, and that just jumped out of the ramp completely. That was a little bit squirrely. need to hit the right ramp one more time or the left orbit one more time to start a mode. And that was all me. That was all my bad. So, taking a day off work to play my new toy? No. Unfortunately, I bought it on the weekend, so it was nice. So I played it all weekend, but no days off for me. In fact, I haven't taken a day off. Oh, I take that back. I've taken one day off in the last year and a half. I am a bit of a workaholic. Not only do I do YouTube, I have a full-time day job, and then I also have a secondary job teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at a local MMA gym. So I'm a busy, busy man. So when I get a chance to relax and play video games, I will do it any chance I can get, because it is a bit of a stress reliever. Ah, come on. I want the left orbit. Settle. All right, now this is on me to make the shot. And I bricked it. And I lost it. That was all me. That was all me. And I believe that is the last ball? Question mark? Nope, okay. Forgot how many extra balls I got. I wanted to show you guys total isolation mode, but I've been playing so poorly tonight that it's just not going to happen, I don't think. Oh, that was garbage. Skill shotted right out to the right lane. That was depressing to say the least. Thank God for the ball save. Add time. Well, that helps me. None. So we're adding time to my least favorite mode in the entire game. So not what I wanted to happen at all. And since I'm in Demogorgon mode, I can't shoot my left shot and progress any farther. So it is what it is. Yep, ball drain. And another ball drain. No. There we go. Hit him in the mouth. So both Demogorgons are dead. Now I gotta shoot my red targets again, hopefully. Complete all the targets. Demogorgon comes back out for like a bonus round, so to speak. And this stupid Demogorgon mode needs to end so I can go back to progressing on my modes. Ricochet. Settle. Man, those two massive bricks. Oh no, in the out lane. Double whammy. No bueno. So yeah, did slay the Demogorgon, but wasn't able to complete that left out lane mode, which would have started the total isolation mode, but it is what it is. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you joining the stream. Unfortunately, sorry for the technical difficulties, so I can't look at you and talk to you because that camera died, but unfortunately, it is what it is. We'll stream it. We'll do it again another time. So thanks everybody. Catch you on the next one. Have a great evening.